Okay, so now we have seen that we were continuing here that a1 and a2 are constants. Now using boundary condition, you can see at at x equals to 0, x equals to 0 means you can see this plate. When we talk of x equals to 0 means we are talking of this bottom plate. At x equals to 0, naturally Ey, that means the tangential component of E will be 0 because that is the boundary condition for E field. Okay. So we see those boundary conditions here. See, Ey is 0 at x equals to 0 and a2 is 0. So there you can put in the equation. If you make Ey 0 at x equals to 0, then naturally a2 will come out to be 0 from the equation. So we get Ey 0, that if you make a2 0, only the first part will survive. At x equals to a, again you apply boundary condition and you get this. So at x equals to a by 0, it requires that if you at x equals to a you make e by 0, you will see that this hp term, which is a constant term, is m pi by a, where m are the integers and a is the separation between the plates. So if m is equals to 0, all field components will vanish. So we have to start from 1. Then substituting this in equation, the other components also can be obtained. So this calculation we can do manually and we will obtain these components. So you see every component is dependent on the term m. You can see every component is dependent on term m. So this represents mode of propagation of TE wave. So one particular value of m will give the mode of TE mode. So the field components complete form can be written in this way, where these components will have a phase magnitude amplitude and phase. Both terms we will have. That it is understood. So the instantaneous electric and magnetic field for TE1 wave at some instant of time are shown here. So you see when we talk of TE1 wave, you see only one cycle variation. 1 means TEx, if we say x equals to 1, so this represents number of half cycles along x direction. So TE1 means you see one half cycle along x direction. And so in this form also you can represent by means of density of lines. More the density of lines at center means maximum is the amplitude there, and at the side it has to vanish obeying boundary conditions. So see at the side no lines are there. This is E field. Corresponding H field you can also see here. It will look in this form. Corresponding H field, if you look from top, this is the projection. H field, if you see, it will look in this form. It is encircling the point along Z direction. Actually this is E field, so H field will be perpendicular to that. And similarly, just as we did analysis for TE waves, for TM waves also same process. If we do the analysis, you will get for TM waves again Hz is 0. So Hz is 0. So it is understood it transverse magnetic because there is no longitudinal component of H along Z direction. TM wave means transverse magnetic wave for which there is no component of magnetic field and direction of propagation. So we proceed in a similar way. You will get similar equations as the previous one and you get the solution. So the same thing I am not repeating, just you can go through by the same process and we get this equation. Here it is m pi by a. So here again m will starting from 0. Why? Because when m is 0, there exists some component. You can put in the equation and see when m is 0, components will exist. So also there still exists some more component, Ez will exist obviously. In TM modes, Ez has to exist. So then the remaining field components from the equations can be found out, and then we have TMM waves. So you can see TMA for field variation, TM one wave between parallel plates, you can see one variation along EZ components, one variation, and this is EX component, one variation. Actually it depends on boundary condition. By the side it has to vanish, but EX is along top, so tangential EX is not tangential at the boundary, so that component exists. And this is the H component. So this is how the field configurations for various modes it looks like. Propagation parameters of TE and TM waves, this is very important. From previous equations we obtained this propagation constant, that is equals to hp square minus plus square mu 0 epsilon square. So where hp was defined, this actually this is guided propagation constant, so it is m pi by a. So if from this equation hp and gamma p, this is guided propagation constant, that is equals to hp square minus this, where hp was defined in this way. Now depending upon relative magnitude of hp and this omega square mu epsilon, we can have various cases. It is understood, see, if here if this term is greater than this term m pi by a square, then hp will be purely imaginary. So purely imaginary means phase constant exists, which is given by this relation. You can, from this equation only you can get, and naturally purely imaginary means attenuation will be 0. And if that is greater, you see the m pi by a whole square, that means this hp square, if this is greater than the second term omega square mu epsilon, then it is clear, it is purely this, let me show mark here, then you can see it is this term, then it is purely real. That means attenuation is there, wave is not propagating. So that is evanescent mode, and above one is propagating mode. So propagation constant, then we can easily calculate from this relation. You can just put it in this and calculate the relation. So for all frequencies less than omega c, we can find out the cutoff wavelength here. So less than omega c, now what is this omega c is called cutoff frequency. Now what is cutoff frequency? That means frequency, see here, if this term is greater than this, then the propagation will stop. So from here you can find out one cutoff omega c in this term. If you can replace in this term, if you omega by omega c, so from here you will get cutoff, this square by omega square epsilon 0, so that you get the cutoff frequency from here. You understood this one, how to do? Here this you equate, because greater than this propagation stops. So when you equate this, means this is the high frequency below which, like if it is less, just like you see here if it is greater than this, then the propagation is taking place. So minimum this much frequency should be there, above which it will stop, below this it will stop. So minimum this much frequency should be there for the propagation to take place, because waveguide acts as high pass filter. So from there we get the cutoff frequency. So gamma p is real and this is 0. For all frequencies less than this, it is evanescent, because propagation constant is, phase constant is 0, but propagation constant is real. So from there we can calculate cutoff frequency this. So this is the same formula. From there you can find out fc this. And once you know fc, then guide wavelength we know 2 pi by phase constant. 2 pi by phase constant is guide wavelength. Now Vp you know, phase constant we have found out above, this one beta p. So this beta p, if you substitute here, you can get the guide wavelength. We can get this guide wavelength in terms of free space wavelength, where lambda c will give you the cutoff wavelength given by this relation. So these are the various parameters we can calculate. For TE1, just put m equals to 1 and you get these relations. So these can be easily obtained. Now transverse TEM wave. TEM wave is wave for which no component of EHS is in the direction of propagation. So that we know TEM wave does not exist, because for TEM wave both neither EH, neither EZ or HZ exists. So longitudinal component both are not there, but which is not possible in a. Okay, now transverse electromagnetic wave. So the propagation characteristics you can see, and then the velocity.